this truck and this truck are exactly why people hate the truck market right now. Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. Reading the comments this weekend, talking to people in the forum, talking to journalists, looking at other YouTube channels, Facebook group stuff. People are really upset about these trucks. And in this video, I'm going to do the bad thing. I'm not going to be a journalist. I'm going to go over why people are so upset with the truck market and use these two as an example of what's going on or where the hate's coming from. So let's check these out. Okay, so we have two trucks. One full size, one mid-size. Can you tell the difference? Yeah, look how tall these have gotten. Look how big these are. Now, these are both off-road focused trucks, and what people hate is because you're seeing stuff on YouTube, you're seeing people talk about new trucks, and they're all looking like this. There is no more regular cab. There's no bare bones roll-up windows. Everything is turned into this that you see online that's fueling a lot of hate. The second thing that people really don't like about these trucks is price. This is pretty incredible. That starts at $84,000 fully loaded. I got that about 12 grand off the deal I worked with Mark Dodge. Really good deal, really good dealership. About 72. That one, $72,000 as well. Yeah, no, I am not kidding. I have the paperwork right here in my hand. And let me pull it out for you guys and show you. Right there, $71,395. Sorry. It is the 2025 GMC Canyon. Now, this is the fully loaded Alpha Dog mid-size off-road truck, so you got to keep that kind of stuff in mind. But we have a $10,000 AT4X AEV edition, which gets you steel, the more steel bumpers and things, boron steel underneath for different skid plates. We have the AT4X package with the differential, selectable locking front differential, some Obsidian Rush interior trim. We'll look at that in a little bit. Red seat belts. We have a trailering package with Baja mode. We have adaptive cruise control, audio, AT4 premium package. Yeah, you add all that together with the new, for 2025, this snorkel air intake. Now, I said air intake because we'll pop the hood in a minute. We'll see if this actually has more water fording ability or just more airflow. But yeah, these two trucks are damn near the same price. They're both over $70,000, which that price point really pisses people off. You see it all the time in the comments. People say, well, I hope that Ram goes bankrupt with these prices, or I hope that GM goes bankrupt with these prices. And if I had a Ford here, probably be the same deal. Ford Raptor. I hope Ford goes bankrupt with these prices because things have gotten too expensive. So that's the other thing people don't like is the price. We talked already about how they're both crew cabs. They're not extended cabs. They are not regular cabs. In fact, the GMC Canyon doesn't even come with different cabs. It is only in a crew cab. That makes people mad. They want less of a rear seat room. They don't need this. It's too much truck for their needs. They get mad about that in the comments quite a bit. And we'll come around the bed heights. This is another thing people are mad about. So this is above my shoulder. Yeah, my arm is up to be able to get in this bed. Midsize should be shorter, right? Nope, it's the same deal. It's above my shoulder, so you can't even get into this truck. If gravely you're taller, I'm 5'7", 5'8" with the good boots on, but you can't get into these trucks, which that gets people also mad that they're not usable. You can't reach in there and grab stuff out. I can't even come close. I am not even close to doing that. It's kind of a joke. Let's talk about the other thing that really makes people mad. It's underneath the hood. Okay, right here. This, in the GMC Canyon, is a 4-cylinder. Okay, fine. This, in the Ram, is a 6-cylinder. Okay, not a V8, fine. But, twin turbo. It's the new engines. This doesn't even come with the standard V6. This doesn't have a V8, maybe for now. They're looking at doing that in the future, but the RHO doesn't have a V8 option. So you don't have a natural aspirated engine, either one. Both of them are turbos. Both of them are almost impossible to work on. Now, I'll put a link in the description below. There's a manual that I found for shop manual that actually lays out how to work on these. It's a pretty good manual, 700, 800 pages of this stuff. So check that out as well. But still, you can't even work on this. That makes people really mad. You can't just park outside, replace something. This one, same deal. You can't work on this one at all. So in both cases, the new engines, yeah, 540 horsepower, 430 pound-feet of torque. It doesn't matter if you're broken down on the side of the road. People don't seem to care about fuel economy. They don't care about the power delivery. They just really worried about reliability, and being that every engine is moving towards having turbos in it, which is part of the CAFE requirements, EPA, that's what they're mad at. They want the EPA to go away. They want this stuff to be gone, go back to V8s, more reliable, slower, worse fuel economy, more reliable. That is the big thing that's got people really upset. Another thing that's got people upset, while I have the hood open on both of these, and this comes from a lot of journalists and from some people online and some customers. It's right here. It is going to be the height of this. About once a year, I get tagged in articles that talk about how full-size trucks are killing people, including mid-size trucks too. How trucks are killing people, especially heavy-duty trucks, gotten so tall, we're literally mowing over pedestrians. We're killing grandma in the crosswalk, and engineers have done a terrible job on making the hoods easier to see over. I've seen journalists point this stuff out where they see a bunch of wasted space here, that this could be shrunken, this could be moved down, this could be dropped 6 inches. You don't need this much ground clearance, even though you have 35-inch tires in there. Drop the wheel wells down. You need to drop this whole front end down. You'd make this thing shorter. It should all be like the Honda Ridgeline. The hood scoop blocks your view. This truck is killing pedestrians. People hate that. I see it all the time in any of those articles come out. People gang up on stuff and say, this thing is so tall that if you're an 8-year-old boy walking by, you can't see that person, grab them on the crosswalk, you're mowing them over, you're killing people with these new trucks. They've just gotten too insane, and there's no purpose for it. There's no functional benefit for it, even though we need airflow. No big deal there. There's no functional benefit. This is too far back. There's too much room here. Shrink that in, drop that down, get rid of the hood scoop. Same deal over here. This is just a waste of space, plastic grill. Get rid of this completely, shrink that down, and get rid of it. You don't need that at all. This is way too much truck, and who cares? You're not gonna take this thing off-road anyways. You are just a brodozer, and you are killing pedestrians. Another thing they don't like about these new full-size trucks, and we'll do mid-size in a minute, is how much you're gonna haul, right? Because we have this new thing that we've been discovering the last couple decades called Payload. Turned out Payload wasn't a thing 30, 40 years ago. Now it is. Now we know this truck will haul 1,402 pounds. That's with all the occupants and cargo. That doesn't mean including the driver. Some people early on in my career said, well, that includes a 150-pound driver, Tim. No, it doesn't. That is nothing in the truck. This is everything you put into the truck. So this is every bottle, every case of beer, every person, everything you put in the bed. Can't exceed that. So how can you have a half-ton truck that can't carry a half-ton, right? I see it all the time. How can that be a half-ton truck and won't carry a half-ton? Okay, that's why I call them full-size, because that's probably more accurate terminology. Now, you're thinking, well, mid-size, it can't haul that much. Look how much smaller it is in that full-size truck. The height and the size of that full-size truck makes it able to haul more gear. Well, sort of. This is 1,016 pounds of payload in this. Why? We're adding these big tires. We have these huge tires in this. We have the heavier off-road equipment in this truck. So you can haul more in that, but when you do a base canyon can haul more than the Ram RHO, because it's called the equipment you add on. People hate that. They're like, I don't want it. They ignore this number. I'm gonna load this up. I'm gonna put 4 people back here. I'm gonna put stuff in there. I'm gonna put a camper. I'm gonna haul stuff, and then, oh, if I happen to snap my axle because I've overloaded, that's the engineer's fault, not my fault. That's their problem. They have an indent in the frame here. The indentation in the frame here allows the bed to fall down this way in a rear end accident. If you overload these mid-sized trucks, you have the same thing happen where it bends in like this. We see it all the time, different photos, things on Facebook, things on Instagram. So they hate that. They're gonna put a plate down there, reinforce that, so that way this is a sturdy bed that never collapses, and you can haul more stuff. Done. Simple. Another thing people hate is in the mid-size truck. I want to haul my family. I want to put car seats back here. 4 real adults in this truck. Yeah, good luck with that. I mean, it's tight back here. You can do it for occasional road trips and things, but it's not comfortable. And you can't do a infant seat that goes like this behind the driver. It's not enough room. They're like, I can't go full size though. You know why I can't go full size? That won't fit in my garage. You think that's not a big deal to people? Let me tell you what, I see that all the time in the comments. People are like, I want to be able to park my truck in the garage, especially for hailstorms. See, this got dirty. We had a big rainstorm come through last night. I could get this hailed out any moment. We have some massive storms these days. So they want to park that stuff in the garage, protect it, because it's $70,000. Why wouldn't you want to protect it? I can't fit that. I can fit that in my garage, but I can't fit people in my garage. So I have to go with that, but then I can't fit that. That's the frustration people have right there, both cases. You're seeing that with the size. Here's another thing people don't like. People don't like that. They hate new technology. Look, I have no analog gauges. I have only digital displays. I don't have any sort of analog stuff. So what happens when that breaks? What happens when that breaks? That really makes people upset. Why do I have to have a big screen? Why can't I just have a small screen or just a small radio? Why do I need this massive screen? What purpose does this screen serve? Nothing. It's a waste. It's really expensive. Thieves can steal the screens. I showed you one in a video like this. I showed you how they stole the screens, how they're stealing the screens right now. I have this that people hate. They hate all these drive modes too, especially this truck. This truck doesn't have two-wheel drive. Yeah, no two-wheel drive. So now you have concerns about how long the transfer case is going to last. You have concerns about reliability. You have concerns, why is the fuel economy not getting any better? I'm getting 15. Can you imagine that? 15 miles per gallon in a 2025 Ram truck. I should get better than that because my insert name model year gets better than that currently, and it's 10 years older. So how come the new truck doesn't have better fuel economy? People hate that. People also hate this. No keyed ignition. Yeah, this is all gone to a push button. People hate that because you have so much stuff tied to this. Something goes wrong with it, well, you're going to lose a lot of capability and you have to pull over, and this is really expensive to fix. Hate that. I also really hate auto start stop. People hate that. That turns the engine off at stop signs or in traffic to conserve some fuel. It is not EPA mandated. I know, that's going to blow your mind. People are like, that's EPA mandated, EPA crap. No. EPA gives automakers a credit if they want to use that system. Most automakers are like, why not? We want the credit. We'll just give the customers the opportunity to turn it off by pushing a button or doing an aftermarket add-on that disables it completely. Hate that. All right, the final two items I hear all the time people hate is, we alluded to those a couple times, is how expensive trucks are to fix. This is expensive, that's $1,000, this is probably $1,000. The engine is probably about $12,000, $14,000. Transmissions, $10,000 to have work done. You know, you have a lot of expense in not only buying the truck, but also repair costs and trying to get the parts in, right? So anytime there's a big recall, anytime there's a known problem, we have delays in getting parts, more manufactured parts. Automakers build just in time for factories to build just enough parts to build trucks in factory line. They don't always stock up additional parts for recalls and things. They have to ramp up for that. So if something does break, you're not down without your truck for a day, a couple hours. No, you're probably talking weeks, maybe even months in the shop where you have this truck you spent all this money on that you can't drive because they can't get the parts. That is very frustrating for a lot of customers. And it makes sense. You spent the money, you want to have it. The final thing that I see people get so upset about is features you don't need. Do you really need a rear locker and a front and rear locker? And do you really need the window button that rolls on all four windows? Do you need different drive modes? Do you really need all of this multi-matic shocks? Do you need all of these additional features you have to buy to get the kit you want? So You may just want the 35-inch tires. You may think those are badass. I want to make my Canyon have those same tires. But you can't just buy those with they have a Salta wheel insert, which is really cool as well. You can't just buy those and bolt them on. You have to have a lift. You have to do this. And then the trucks now, like a few of these trucks, you can't change the speed. You can't change the speedometer when you put the bigger tires on because they don't want you messing with systems. So now when I put the bigger tires on, I can't change this. I can't change that. I can't customize it. And so that really gets people frustrated that I have all these additional features that I don't necessarily need, but I have to have. For example, I'll show you the one that really bugged me the other day. So this is the level 1 group. I have massaging seats, heated and cooled seats. I like the massaging seats. I've had some back issues, and it's nice to have the massaging seats, but I have this really goofy, useless screen. I've been playing with it. I plugged stuff into it. I think this is useless. You can't see it in road trips because it's so glare comes off of it. You're supposed to be able to do directions and things. It's useless, but I have to have that screen, and I lose the upper glove box in Ram trucks because I wanted the massaging seats, or I wanted the panel moonroof and things. So really funky things that happen. And GM is part of this as well. Like in the Chevy Colorado, when you go to build and price it online, to get the heated steering wheel, you cannot just get that with the heated seats. Oh, no, no, no. You have to go ahead and get 2 level groups up. So you have to add on the heated steering wheel, heated seats, then you have to add on heated steering wheel. And they're charging extra for adaptive cruise control as well, where that comes standard. So additional features you don't need that come in packages, and the additional expense of getting those, and then you have features that you'll never use that are thrown in that really inflates the price. So there you go. That's my thoughts on why people are really upset with the truck market in 2025, while they're upset in the comments, while they're not buying, while they're holding off on buying, because they just don't like what's out there. What do you guys think? What do you guys agree with? What do you guys don't agree with? See your comments down below. Check out the website at pickuptrucktalk.com. Check out the videos up over here. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.